Welcome back to the workshop. We want to continue taking a look at connectives of statements. So let's take a look at disjunction. The disjunction of two statements is when we join the two statements using the word or. So in this case, the disjunction of two statements is true whenever one or the other is true. So the idea of it, the truth, is the same as the idea of how we connect the statements themselves. If we want to talk about this statement and that statement using conjunction, then it's true when this one and that one are true. For disjunction, when we want this statement or that statement, we have that it's true when this one is true or that one is true, whatever those two statements happen to be. So we can come up with a truth table for this. So let's do that a moment. Truth table. So if we have two statements P and Q, again, we want to consider the four possible combinations: true, true, false, false, and then true, false, true, false. So these are all possible combinations of true and false for P and Q. Again, individually, they can either be true or false, but when we look at the possible combinations of both of them, we want to consider when both are true, both are false, and then the two possible ways that can be mixed. So that's the possible values of P and Q, and we want to look at the possible truth values of P or Q. Now, the P or Q is true whenever one or the other is true. So we have at least one true here, so this is true. And here that's true, so true again, true here, so true again, and false, both of them are false, so we don't have at least one of them being true, so we get false. Okay, so this is the connective disjunction, okay, the connective or, which is called disjunction. So let's take a look at these statements. Now, I did slightly change one of them, so let's observe that whether or not each of these is true or false, and then take a look at the disjunction of these statements. Okay, so 5 plus 3 is equal to 15. That is still false. That did not change. Excellent. April 24, 2020 is a Friday. True. Feel free to open up your phone, scroll back in your calendar, and find that April 24th, 2020 is a Friday. Okay, all cows are brown. No. Moo, says the cow. Okay, all cows are brown. That is not true at all. So this is false. Okay, we have that. There are black and white cows as well. Quite possibly all black cows. I'm sure if you saw an albino cow, I'm sure they exist somewhere. That'd be all white. Okay, so they're not all cows are brown. All right, so let's take a look at the disjunction of these statements: P or Q. P or Q. So 5 plus 3 is equal to 15. Or April 24th, 2020 is a Friday. So is one of these true? Yes, April 24th, 2020 is a Friday. That was true. So since Q is true, the disjunction in this case is true. Excellent. So what about Q or R? So Q or R. All right, writing that out, we would have April 24th, 2020 is a Friday. Or, right, we're using the disjunction here, so one statement or the other. April 24th, 2020 is a Friday. Or all cows are brown. Of course, Q is still true, so overall the disjunction is true. So for the same reason, since Q is true, the disjunction is true. Excellent. All right, now what about R and P? Sorry, R or P. The disjunction of R and P is R or P. There we go. So R is all cows are brown. Are brown. Or 5 plus 3 is 15. Since both P and R are false, the disjunction is false. Excellent. Nothing too crazy. But what we want to notice here is that right when we change the order of disjunction, it doesn't change what's going on. So 5 plus 3 is equal to 15, or all cows are brown. Of course, for the same reason, since both P and Q are false, the disjunction is false. All right, so what we want to notice here then is that disjunction is commutative. You can write it in any order and that's fine. All right, for those of you that are curious or might be slightly confused about the definition of how we use or in this case, this particular or that we're using is called the inclusive or. So it's true when one of the two statements is true or both of the statements are true. There is also called the exclusive or, in which case it's true when exactly one of these statements is true. Okay, so it's false when they're both false and it's false when they're both true, but that would be the exclusive or. And here what we have is the inclusive or. So make sure that you are aware that the inclusive or is true when both of these statements are true. So when both P and Q are true, the disjunction is also true. Okay, just one small detail that is possibly easily overlooked. All right, but that's all that I have for this video. So I'll see you guys back in the workshop very shortly.